I'm still at it.
Okay. We're going to wait. Mr. Sellers should be down very shortly. As soon as he comes down, we'll get the press conference on the way. He should be down very shortly. He cannot live anywhere he wants to live in. We cannot afford to have black people go into the military services, not only because of the illegal and vicious nature of the war in Vietnam, but because it's a racist war which uses black people to fight against other colored people around the world. It's been the pattern of the United States in its racist foreign policy, and that we can no longer have our young men fight that war. We're then taking a positive approach to our resistance. We're going to have black... What's happening, brother? We're going to have a black resistance movement which will speak of the survival of black people in this country. If we are to survive as a people, we cannot allow this country to use us as their cannon fodder.
Mr. Carmichael, violence has followed many of your appearances. Do you take credit for any of that violence?
If I take any credit, I take credit for the fact that black people in this day and age will fight back anybody who messes with us.
Do you have anything to do with that violence?
I will urge black people around this country that if anybody lays their hands on them, they don't have a right to do so, that they fight back those people.
Mr. Carmichael, you haven't answered my question.
I have answered your question, sir. I have told you what I'm going to do. Now, what you want me to say is not the answer to your question. I will urge black people to fight back.
But I wanted to know, did you have anything to do with the violence, your speeches? Do you feel that you sparked any of the violence?
Well, if I did, they should arrest me.
You still haven't answered my question.
A man is innocent in this country until proven guilty. Well, I don't even have to testify against. I don't even have to testify against myself. So that if somebody's saying that I started violence, they should prove it. It's not for me to debate it. Let them prove it. I'm innocent until proven guilty.
Yesterday, Dr. King said that he feels that you were right all along. Now, is Dr. King coming into your area and dropping his nonviolent stand, do you feel, Mr. Carmichael?
Well, you'd have to speak to Dr. King about that. Dr. King, I happened to be at his sermon yesterday, and I'm not sure. He said he's still a pacifist, so I'm not sure he's dropping his nonviolence.
You think his attitude has changed, in your opinion, has it?
Yes, I think that Dr. King has come to realize, as most Americans, that they cannot keep silent during such a vicious war, that they must speak out. There comes a time when every man must speak out. And Dr. King is making it clear that he is speaking out now. He will not speak out 20 years from now at a Nuremberg trial.
You urge immediate unilateral withdrawal from Vietnam?
Absolutely. The United States has no business in there. None whatsoever.
You've said the drafting of Negroes is an effort to get rid of them.
To commit genocide against black people, clearly. Any time you draft 22.4% of the people to fight that war, there are no black people on the selective services, they have no recourse. It's clear that they're drafting the black youth of this nation to fight that war so they can commit genocide against the race. The final solution to the race problem in this country.
Are all these people drafted, or are many of them volunteers?
No, I think that even if they were volunteers, the situation and the system that the United States has allows for black people no alternative but to volunteer to become hired killers. The only way out of a society is through death, as even the white publications prove.
You're not saying that they're volunteering just to get knocked off, are you?
No, they have no way out. I mean, what can they do? They don't have jobs in the ghetto, they have corrupt schools, the houses are run down, they have to live with rats and roaches. Their only out is to try and make it in Vietnam. That's the fault of the United States.
What is your draft classification?
I'm now 4F.
Last week. Alabama.
Right here.
had hoped that Mr. Cleveland Sellers, who's our National Program Secretary, would have been out of the induction center by now. He clearly is not. Mr. Sellers brought a suit against the Selective Service and against McNamara, against the governors of South Carolina, their Selective Service systems, and Georgia and their Selective Service systems. Now, we just want to give a little bit of facts about that. In the state of Georgia, there are 409 board members in the Selective Service. 28.5% of the state population of Georgia is black. Only 0.2%, that's 0.2%, of the board members are black on the Selective Service, which says out of a total membership of 509 board members, they only have 5 black members. And in the state of South Carolina, there are 161 board members. 34.8% of that state is black. 0.6% of the total membership is black. That is to say that of 161 board members in the state of South Carolina, only 1 member on the Selective Service is black. Now, it is crystal clear to us that the country is moving to do several things. One of the things they're trying to do is to commit genocide against black people by, number one, drafting them in the large percentage that they do. The National Advisory Committee on Selective Service said in March that 22.4% of people in combat in Vietnam are black people, clearly pointing out that most of the people drafted are black people without fair representation on the selective board services. That itself is not our quarrel. Our quarrel is within a legal procedure. They will not allow Mr. Sellers to have that case, clearly because they cannot admit that it's not true, that there are no black people of any representation on the draft board system selective service around this country. Now, what's been happening is that inside of SNCC, they've drafted 16 people. They're trying to destroy the organization by drafting our people. Now, it should be crystal clear to them that we don't intend to go. None of our people have gone. Mr. Sellers is not going to take the oath today. He will refuse to do it, as did my hero, Mr. Muhammad Ali. He did not take the oath either. We have now all of those people who are out, waiting to be picked up by the authorities for refusing to go into the military. 5% of the casualties are black people. It's crystal clear that the United States is moving to wipe out the young black youth of this country by sending them to Vietnam. For our survival, we must say, as did Mr. Muhammad Ali, that we cannot go.
What is this resistance movement about?
Well, we're going to build a black resistance movement where we're going to begin to urge black people to do precisely what the 16 people in SNCC have done, what we have done, and what Mr. Muhammad Ali have done. And to begin to broaden that to show black youth that they have no alternative to going to the war in Vietnam. That we must do as Dr. King is begin to urge now, just refuse to go into the armed forces.
On what grounds, sir?
On the grounds that we must survive as a people.
Is there a legal basis for this?
The legal basis is we're not going. Legality is he who has power to make what he says legal.
If they start putting SNCC members in jail, is this going to defeat your purpose?
No, we have a lot of black people in jail in this country. You know, the jails of this country are filled with black men and the courts are white with hate. We'll organize our brothers in jail.
How are they going to help SNCC while they're in jail, Stokely?
They'll be out. Mr. Carmichael is my name.
Are you saying that even if the board, selective service boards then were had Negroes, that wouldn't make any difference?
No, it wouldn't make any difference because they're still driving black people out of proportion, and certainly black people have no business fighting that war because they don't know anything about democracy. All we have in this country are rats and roaches, unemployment. We have nothing to fight for.
Then what was the point of filing the suit on this basis?
Well, it was filing a suit just to show the illegal system of the legality system the United States claims to have.
Would you draw up a different constitution?
Would I draw up a different constitution?
Do you think one should be drawn up?
I just think you ought to try and live up to the one you have.
Would you and SNCC live up to the Constitution we have?
Well, we're trying to get white people to live up. And Mr. Carmichael is my name. If you call me Stokely one more time, I will not respect you and answer any of your questions. Is that clear? You can try it again.
Well, you're not saying then that your main contention is not just the war in Vietnam, but any war. If we weren't there, you think we should be fighting another war for the same purpose?
That's correct. The racist foreign policy of the United States allows that it must suppress colored nations around the world who fight for their liberation. The fact that the United States spends 70% of its budget on building war materials prove that the country must constantly be at war. Anytime you spend 70% of your national budget on gun materials, you must constantly be at war. Mr. Don Howard.
I didn't get the first name that you said.
What was the first name?
Samuel
Schutz. Samuel Schutz.
TV.
Right, Samuel Schutz, Don Howard, John Batiste. The T-shirt on.
Let me ask you this: if you are adamant
Wassell Williams. Wassell Williams. W-A-R-C-E-L-L. Wassell Williams. And you know, we had 12 people arrested out here last summer, all of them who had refused to be inducted.
And all of us, these 16 counting,
16.
these 16 have taken place within the last 3 months.
In the last 3 months.
What had been the status before then? I understand that at one time, many SNCC workers receiving a Y draft, a 1Y draft classification. When did this, as I understand it now, they're receiving a 1A classification. They've been reclassified. When did the 1Y classification begin changing to the 1A?
As soon as we became more militant on our approach against the war in Vietnam. Mr. Sellers' suit also brings prosecution against his right of free amendment speech. We're claiming in the speech that he's being drafted because of his association with the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, as has been the case with most of the 15 others.
what was the 1Y classification?
They never said, they just gave most of us 1Y classification.
Although there have, you say, been 16 who have refused.
Northern District of Georgia to enjoin his induction. A motion for preliminary injunction was denied. He then applied for a stay or an injunction against the draft board to the United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit. That was denied. He then appealed to the Supreme Court of the United States through Mr. Justice Black, and the stay was denied there. As a consequence, he has been ordered to report for induction, and as I understand it, has done so. He presently has on appeal to the United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit the question of the lawfulness and constitutionality of the selective service system as it exists in South Carolina and in Georgia. He contends that Negroes have been systematically excluded from selective service boards and from the selective service process. He contends, secondly, that he has been deprived of his rights to free expression and free association under the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. Those questions will be adjudicated, of course, in the future. As to what steps he presently plans to take, we have not advised him. We're here to give him any advice that he may request, and of course he's his own man and will make up his own idea in his own minds as to what, when, and where he will do what he does.
What is his status now? Is he still being questioned by the CIC?
He was questioned a short while ago by 3 gentlemen who stated that they were with military investigative services. The questioning was terminated. We did render some advice there regarding his right not to answer certain of the questions put to him and not to take a lie detector or a polygraph test.
Is there any indication when he'll be asked to step forward to be inducted?
Well, I have no idea. Of course, the selective service people know best their own schedule and when they intend to have him step forward, if indeed they do intend to have him step forward at all.
Was he requested to take a lie detector test?
He was requested to take he was asked whether or not he would be willing to take a polygraph examination. I believe that's the proper way to state it.
Have you advised him against it?
I would advise anybody against taking a polygraph investigation under any set of circumstances. They're unreliable, they're referable to the person making the investigation, and after all, he is a United States citizen and he's entitled to the full protection of the Constitution, and I don't think that requires him to answer questions either under oath or not under oath or to a polygraph machine that may be run by someone competent or perhaps not competent.
What was the
Were
purpose
the questions in connection with his association with the person who allegedly attempted to blow up the Statue of Liberty? Oh, Lord, I have no idea about any of those questions. You see, I arrived at the end of the conversation, Mr. Spivey, and I didn't know that anyone recently had attempted to blow up the Statue of Liberty, and nor did I know that he'd had any such association, and I was not present when he was asked about it if he was, and I'm certain that under the decisions of the Supreme Court, any such questioning would have been improper without counsel present, without legal advice as to his rights.
He volunteered this information.
To whom? You, Mr. Spivey?
On his application.
Did he do it the same way Julian Bond did it when you got him in trouble?
Well, I understand why they have not asked him to be inducted.
Well, I don't know what information the Army or the military forces have put out or what information anyone else has put out. I just arrived here, as I stated, and regardless of that, I'm sure that the Selective Service System has its own technique for putting out whatever information it wants, or perhaps others do. I don't know.
You do not know specifically what they wanted to ask him on the polygraph test, then?
Well, if I did know, I wouldn't comment on it, of course. And I don't know, as a matter of fact. And I don't think they knew either. They just said, are you willing to take a polygraph examination? I advised him that I wouldn't advise him to take a polygraph examination under any circumstances. Nor would I advise anyone else to take one, Ted.
Thank you, Chip.
Well, we have talked about it some, and Dr. King and I are going to have some more meetings next week concerning some strategy about that.
What is your opinion of his reaction to that theory?
150% behind it. I think Dr. King's statement yesterday as his declaration against the war in Vietnam was an excellent statement, and we support it 150%.
Do you think this reflects on his part the feeling that perhaps the purpose of this is
more or less going it along, and it seems as if everyone is coming in to concur with your statement and your position. Does this mean that there's been a coalition among the major civil rights groups like CORE, SCLC, and SNCC?
Well, what it means is that we've always been the avant-garde of the civil rights movement, so to speak. We've always been out front taking positions that we know are right, and that it's taken some time for most people to come along. That happens to be the case again with the Vietnam War. We were out there, and finally people are waking up and recognizing that we're correct in our position and are beginning to support that position.
If you're adamant about not being inducted, what is the purpose of going through all the formal procedure prior to stepping forward? Why don't you just say we're not going?
No, because we want to move all the way up to show them that we're willing to do all those things, but we will not go. We will not go.
On another subject, would you assess the Maddox administration up till now?
No, I will not.
Mr. Carmichael, the acceptance by Dr. King that nonviolence won't work, and of some of your other positions, seems to indicate that the old tactics of the movement, picketing and demonstrations and that sort of thing may be over with and no more useful. What sort of tactics now is the movement going to have to employ to gain your ends?
Well, I'm not sure that Dr. King said that nonviolence was over. And I heard him yesterday. I didn't hear him say that at all.
Well, I think that his coming to your position on the war indicates that, wouldn't you say that some acceptance of that?
No, I think his coming to the position on the war in Vietnam proves very clearly that, number one, he's recognized that we just have to oppose the war in Vietnam. He still claims to be a pacifist. I mean, they're not inconsistent.
Let me make sure.
Hey, Chuck, there's Mr. Chuck. Why don't you join us? Chuck is the ACLU lawyer handling the case. And